Hey YouTube, Aaron here again. Day 4 on my quitting smoking attempt. So, I had a bit of a mess up yesterday. I took a puff off of a cigarette, and it was bad actually. I took my dog out to walk it, and I saw one kind of laying there in an ashtray. I was like, it just kind of just happened. Like it was like totally impulsive. Nah, I don't know. I mean, it was a pretty stressful day yesterday. I was helping some family move, and so I was like really busy. I was real like irritable and nervous the whole day. So I don't know. Maybe I think just I was like a little overstressed and just didn't kind of have my awareness about me to kind of catch myself. Um, I mean, I lit it and I just like kept it right there between my lips for a second and like didn't inhale it or anything, and then I just was like just one quick puff, and then I just started coughing like crazy. Just threw it down, like then I got so mad at myself, and I had like a bunch of thoughts like, oh wow, nice, just messed it up. Might as well quit, might as well just give up, like all it was weird, like all these negative thoughts that started going through my head, like oh you done messed up, you're about to quit and then you screwed it all up, and like I was almost about to just go up to the store and just buy a pack and be like, well, I tried, and I'm like, where is all this coming from, and I called one of my buddies and I was talking to him about it, and he's like, and he kind of helped me get through that like negative thought process that I was having, and so I kind of got back on track, after a little bit, but it was a slip, and that's something I think that is important to prepare for, because there's a high likelihood that there will be little slip ups anytime somebody tries to quit smoking, and I read up a lot of things online about slips and relapses, and just tried to. I jumped into some forums and things like that just to see what other people had said, and trying to just more or less get a feel for what other people felt and thought, and get some encouragement there. And I was really mad because I was like, wow, I've gone like 3.5, almost 4 full days, not a single puff off a single cigarette, and just this one puff, and now I have to reset my time and my quit date, and it's back to 1 day, and I have this really neat app on my phone that keeps track of my quitting progress, and I'll show it to you here. Let's see, you might be able to see it. I don't know. Well, it's all mirrored anyways. But basically, it tells you put in your quit date and time, and then it tells you how long you've not smoked for. Tells you then you put in how many cigarettes you smoked. Tells you how many cigarettes you've not smoked, how much money you've saved, and then it has like the life that you've saved, like the amount of time you've taken off the end of your life, that you've gotten back from quitting. And like for me, it says so far 4 days, 15 hours, and 30 minutes, and I'm like, man, I gotta reset that, and that was really bothering me because, in any recovery situation, if there's a relapse, you start over. You start over day one again, and you just try. And I was like, man, this is going to be rough, especially, I was like, well, if I'm doing this YouTube thing, and that's going to be just so confusing for people to see introduction, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm like, I can't do that, and it's just one puff. So I'm sitting there looking, and I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, it was just the smallest little puff of a cigarette, and it caused so much internal turmoil for me. I definitely learned something. I definitely learned that I'm not as strong as I thought I was, but that doesn't mean that I'm weak necessarily either. It just means that I need to try to stay more aware and try and keep the reasons for quitting at the front of my mind. And my reasons for quitting are a lot of the common ones: money and health, obviously. But really, the most important thing for me is I'm 28. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and if I continue to smoke, I'll be around for a good portion of my daughter's life. Maybe until she's married or has a kid of her own. That's probably about it. I probably won't make it too far past 50, 60, maybe 70, 70 if I'm really, really lucky. I'm usually not lucky, so. But if I quit smoking, that increases my chances of being a part of her entire life and having her be a part of my entire life. And that's very, very important to me. And so my daughter is my main reason for doing this. I want to be able to share as much life with her as I possibly can. And so just keeping that at the forefront of my mind. And, whatever your reason for quitting, whatever your drive or motivation for putting them down, just keep that at the front of your mind. Keep thinking about it. Don't let it kind of fade into background noise, because if it does, and you're in a situation where you're tempted to smoke and have the opportunity to smoke, you will. If you can't remember and keep remembering why you're quitting, you won't be able to do it. And that's what happened. I was so stressed and kind of, my brain was kind of just like frazzled a little bit just from all the activity of the day. That wasn't on the forefront of my mind. So I went outside, I saw a cigarette, and I just, not even thinking, just picked it up and started choking, and I thought I was gonna die. Honestly, I'm actually really glad that I had the violent revulsion to that puff, because from what I've read, a lot of people that try to quit that do that just one puff end up smoking a whole cigarette, and then end up smoking a whole pack, and then end up giving up on their attempt to quit. And so I think I learned something from that, and I'm better for that small slip that I had yesterday. It really, really pissed me off, because I felt like I disappointed myself. I disappointed everybody that had been cheering for me. I've been putting updates on my Twitter all the time, screenshotting that app on my phone, like, hey, guess who just saved 9 hours of their life? Guess who just broke, $30 saved so far? Guess who just, topped over 100 cigarettes not smoked? That kind of thing. And, all my friends are supporting me, like, awesome, man, keep it up, way to go. Let all those people down. I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm just a letdown, a failure. I don't even know why I thought I could try to quit in the first place. And those are the kind of thoughts you don't want to have. And so if you do slip up, don't give up. Put the cigarette back down. If you slip and you catch yourself smoking, I'm pretty sure that disappointment will set in almost immediately. As soon as you light up, you'll start feeling like, man, I've just failed. But don't let that sense of failure allow you to continue smoking the cigarette. Put it down. Redouble your efforts. Go somewhere where you never smoke. Somewhere that you don't, go take a shower, a cold shower or something. Nobody smokes in the shower. Well, maybe nobody. I don't know. It'd be a little difficult. But, and just focus on why you're quitting and keep that in your mind. And so, 4 days, one puff, I mean, that's pretty amazing. And as far as resetting my quit date, if I have another slip up, I'm starting over from day one. But the way I looked at it, and I read this on a forum, I think it was one on like smokefree.gov, one of those website forums. But it said if you're running a marathon and you trip and fall, you don't go all the way back to the starting line and start again. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I feel comfortable continuing to say that I've gone 4 days without a cigarette. I'm not trying to say, oh, one puff doesn't count. It absolutely counts. It absolutely counts. I inhaled some nicotine, very tiny amount, but it doesn't matter. The nicotine's the thing I'm trying to avoid. But that being said, I don't think that it was a big enough slip up to warrant me restarting and causing some of the depression that would probably come along with that. Now, if I have even a minor slip up again, I'm going to start over day one. And I'm going to be honest with the internet here. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this is accountability. And so with that said, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you can glean some kind of inspiration or information, or hell, if anything, just get a laugh out of watching me try to quit smoking. That's fine too. So until then, I will upload another video tomorrow, and in the meantime, stay awesome, Internet.